Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And what we will be talking about for today is, as the description says, the ideology that's backwards. The backwards ideology. And I would like to start off with simply that sometimes in this world we are more willing to do some of the most cruelest things to people in harming them, affecting their lives, destroying them in some way, shape, or form. But when we show the most kindest things of love, whether it's sexually, of just how we eat or anything for health, how we do things to help people, it's considered horrible to do so. This is an ideology that is backwards. And so, for people out there, just to understand, these are some of the things we do. And I would like to go over a few things that we do in a sense, and to understand just simply changing that ideology of what you are. When we are talking about backwards ideology, this is a primitive nature of us as beings who are of the soul, being three-part beings of body, mind, and soul, of course. As you're on this planet, the goal is to evolve to our highest state. At this point in time, however, we are in a primitive nature of who we are being at this point in time. We could change this. In fact, it can easily happen. But we would have to change the way we do things. So, here are 4 things to understand and that would also have to change. And the first thing is peace and violence. We would rather cause wars with people. And this isn't just when we talk about countries. This is when we talk about with people maybe in our neighborhoods, with people we're in relationships with people who are part of our families. We would rather cause harm to the end, cause mayhem, instead of finding ways to work with each other. When we talk about wars with countries, we never look to equally work with each other and grow with each other. We separate ourselves due to our countries instead of working with each other, including everybody. And even the smallest country, in a sense, to be able to commune with each other and help each other out to grow as one. When you look at third world countries that could easily be helped with simple tasks such as helping give clean water and food, this could all be put into play, but we're unwilling to do those things. When these countries are asking for help, we would only do it unless it would cause some type of incentive, some type of war, some type of ideology that would cause that. When you have things that are happening in different areas across the world. Peace is the highest form of evolution. Because what it states is that you can do things without using tremendous force on people, and you can communicate in unity. Now, the question might be, well, then how do we get to that point of communicating in unity with each other, you would have to first stop separating yourselves from each other and be willing to give the simplest things as a society of humanity to everybody. And that is food, water, shelter, clothes. Simple things for people to have just to go about their life. And as you're giving those things to people and helping them out, and on top of that, decreasing the military altogether, and not just, we're not talking one nation, we're talking all nations, decreasing their military and using those funds to help people across the world, including those in their own country, to stop separating borders and connect with each other. This would also take belief. For all of these, in fact, this is one thing I do desire to make sure is known. Belief plays a vital role in all of this. All of this, all of this. Every last bit of this. Two, when we talk about vegans and non-vegans, vegetarians and non-vegetarians. And I want this to be understood in a sense. When you are willing to save wildlife, decrease harm because of the circle of life, to make sure that those animals, because many of these animals have a part to play in our ecosystem. And because many of us consume these animals, many do not think, due to it being behavior that has brought us to this point in time, that has led us to just consuming animals, flesh, and everything else. And of course, the thing people may need to understand is, again, you are what you eat. The energy you do put in your body has an effect also on you. When you are eating dead meat, you are eating that of the dead. Whatever pain that animal went through, whatever that feeling the animal went through, is what will be consumed within you now and will be a part of your energy. We get upset at vegans because of the fact of how they correlate with everybody and telling you how you should do things. And the one thing I desire to know from both sides is forcing people in the sense that they should do what you do does not help with the situation on both sides. Yes, it is a good thing to be healthy. It is a good thing to be vegan. It is a good thing to be vegetarian. It is a good thing even to be raw vegan. But the way you shift this is by giving understanding. And this is for both parties. This is something that's very important. Yes, many people might say that, well, what about the animals, everything, that they are important just like us. And absolutely, I believe that to be true. But also, I believe in balance. If people that do eat that way and they don't care to change, make sure you're healthy. If you so choose so. But also be willing to understand both sides. And that is something that we are unwilling to do as a species. We are not willing to understand both sides. And that is, I know for many people, you might think, oh, that's a very controversial statement or anything. No, that is the truth of things. We are not willing to understand each other and grow from each other and see why people do the things they do. And if you truly wish for someone to understand or grow their own health in a sense, then give the belief within you to them. For those people who are vegan and vegetarian and desire people to be healthier and whatnot, but to push it down people's throats that you should be doing that or you're horrible because you're eating meat or whatnot does not help the situation. It is no different than telling someone they look ugly because of the way they look. Many people, even for me, find me an enigma because I don't go about it that way with people. If you choose a certain lifestyle, I am not going to force it down your throat. That is your choice. So, the way you change this is the way you discuss with each other, the way you have an actual conversation with each other, the way you understand each other. Instead of judging people for who they may be or who you assume them to be, understanding them for who they are in this moment in time. With no judgment, unconditional love, and kindness and observation. Observe to understand the people you are discussing with. Number 3. Humanity and religion. Oh no, here we go. Many people are willing to stomp over other people if they do not believe in what you believe in. Many people are willing to harm people if they do not believe what you believe in. Now, of course, many might say, well, that's not how it is with people in religion. And I will admit that that's not always the case, but there are many places across the world that do fight for those reasons, that do harm people because of religious reasons. We're willing to stomp over humanity for our religious beliefs instead of being the people we are, humanized. Humanity itself. To unify with each other and still believe in what we believe in. It is okay if you believe in what you believe in. There is nothing wrong with that. I know for me personally, I do not choose that for myself. And that is okay. But for other people who do choose that for themselves, we go backwards by allowing ourselves to believe that you're wrong for what you believe in because my such and such is correct. My belief is correct. My ideology is correct. Mine. And everybody's is correct. But here's the problem with this debacle is the simple fact that we're unwilling to coexist with people. Love people for who they are. It shouldn't matter what they believe in or whatnot, but who they are as a person. Does a person change who they are? If one person believes in something in their kind and another person believes in something in their kind, does that mean they're both flawed for being kind to people? I think that would very much be a flawed statement, though. I said that 3 times. But it would be flawed to believe in such an ideology. Humanity is us, and making sure we are all together and happy and working and unified with each other is what will help grow us, no matter your belief system or anything. If you love each other for who you are, no matter what you believe in, you are slowly in the progress of evolving who you are as a person. Becoming more of self, becoming more of oneness with each other, no matter what you believe in. And speaking of oneness, number 4, oneness and separation. We separate ourselves from countries, we separate ourselves from families, we separate ourselves from the homes we live in, we separate ourselves due to what we consider is our ethnicity. We separate, we separate, we separate. And what most people don't understand is that people had created what you call ethnicity to allow you to be separate from someone else, believing that there was somebody who was a superior race and others were different races of different things, when you are all one and the same. To consider yourself separate from someone is a very incorrect statement because of the fact of how you all look. You are looking only at the outside of a person and not realizing the simple factors of the skeleton of a person, the blood you both bleed as a person. You have two eyes, you have eyebrows, you have hair, you have 10 fingers, 2 hands. You have 2 arms, you have a chest, you have 2 legs, and so on and so forth. And you consider yourself different from each other due to your color. When you look at parrots, and I made this statement to a few people before, parrots that are different colors or whatnot, they do not separate themselves from each other believing that the parrot that is green with splotches of red and purple is different from the one that's green with splotches of yellow and red, or the one that's this color is that color. They know themselves to be one and the same, so they work with each other and love each other. The same goes for us. Now, some people mean, well, what about the other birds? They don't do that. You have to understand birds are not on the same level as humans when it comes to our sentience. Everything grows in a different level, of course, and we have grown to that level of sentience of understanding that evolution of self. That being said, understanding that we are all one is what helps grow you, in a sense, helps growing you in a sense of working with each other. The problems you have in everyday life, for example, when we talk about trying to get to where you say you desire to go, and many people cannot because of how they may look to another person and what that person believes to be true just based off of how they look. Stop. Because of the simple fact that this does not work of being who you truly are as a person. Connect with each other. Sit down, have a conversation, sip some coffee, sip some tea, have a sit down with someone and really get to know who they are and realize who you all are. Not because of how they look, not because of what you think, because you may not know or understand, but knowing who they are as a person in their own oneness. And what this has to do with the soul for all of this is evolving the self. Evolving who you are as a person to grow, to flourish, to become more, to evolve your own planet, to also save your own planet, to make sure it's taken care of as an entire species and oneness, and realizing that you are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. So, to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.